family. It's Dr. Jen again, but this time I'm here to share a little bit of my research with you. Yes, I want to share my research with my family. The research that I've been working on over the past 6 years, I can't believe it's been that long, focuses on the history of African American preaching, more specifically the folk preaching tradition, which is the earliest genre of African American preaching traditions. I also like to look at 19th century African American women preachers because I believe that their stories and their sermons need to be excavated and studied for their genius and ingenuity. So if you enjoy content about the history of African American preaching, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, the button's at the bottom of this video, to follow along with me on my journey as a junior scholar and recent PhD graduate. Now, I want to start off by saying there may be some names that I've left out. So if you can think of someone that meets the criterion of time period, but also some of the other parameters that I'm going to discuss, please add their names in the chat because that's how we as scholars grow. We also know that access to early sources is challenging because much of what we know about preachers in the 18th and 19th century, particularly African American preachers, it comes from oral tradition. In addition, the homiletical contributions of many of our African American homileticians have not yet been published. So to my colleagues who enjoy the history of homiletics as much as I do, we have more work to do. Let me also start by saying that this is an academic list that combines the non-negotiable giants or canon-defining homileticians of our age, but also seminary-based homileticians, bridge figures whose preaching functions as homiletical theory. And tonight, we're going to talk specifically about the foundational architects of African American homiletics from 1925 to 1965. Let's go. These are the figures who established the theological, rhetorical, and methodological foundations of African American preaching as a distinct field of study. So number one, Benjamin E. Mays. He shaped the intellectual, ethical, and prophetic foundations of African American preaching through theological, educational, and moral leadership. Number two, Howard Thurman. He grounded African American preaching in contemplative spirituality, inward freedom, and theological anthropology. Number three, Gardner C. Taylor. He established a high theological and rhetorical standard for African American pulpit discourse, and he's often regarded as the dean of Black preachers. Number four, Henry H. Mitchell. He codified African American preaching theory through celebration, narrative, and experiential theology. But we can't talk about Henry H. Mitchell and not talk about Ella Pearson Mitchell, who was his wife. She advanced the pedagogical and ecclesial formation of preaching alongside and beyond male-dominated homiletical frameworks. Number six, E.K. Bailey. He was a leader who was known for promoting expository preaching in the African American church tradition. Number seven, A. Lewis Patterson. He was a notable expositor and mentor to many. Number eight, Manuel Scott Jr. He was renowned for bridging cultural gaps in his preaching. And number nine, the Prathia Hall. She's foundational to African American homiletics because her sermons exemplify early theory and practice. She integrated biblical imagination, prophetic rhetoric, and communal address in ways that later homileticians would name, study, and formalize. That is our homileticians you need to know for tonight. I can't wait to see you all next week. Again, please like, share, and subscribe if you like this kind of content. And I'll see you next week as we talk about some seminary-based homileticians and teachers of the field. See you next Monday.